Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are back finally with a normal length video. It's been a little while. Life has been chaotic, hectic, insane, crazy. Add your adjective, basically. So yeah, I've been running around a lot more with like the work teaching English is just it's here, there, and everywhere. So I'm kind of all over the place in Moscow, and then we've got the child number 4 now. So she stays super busy with them. So hence the extra emphasis on the shorts for the last little bit here, because I can kind of just film them on the go, and then I can also do like multiple takes also on the go, which cuts down the editing load on her, because I can just send it to her and it'll be much closer to a final product than with these longer videos where we have to kind of like figure them out. And since I'm running around all the time, I don't have as much time to edit, so she's trying to edit in between kids because she's still at home, with them. And so anyway, hence the shorts.
Yeah, and if you guys have any ideas for shorts, or let us know what you guys have liked from the shorts that we've done. We are always looking for more short ideas, so let us know.
Back to our actual topic for today. We recently had our visit to the U.S. Embassy for the first time.
Yeah, that was interesting.
It was strange, I won't lie. So with Alicia, the youngest, it's been quite a long process to be able to actually get her in there.
Excuse the bedhead.
Yes, she just woke up. It's been quite a long process to actually get in there, to get the documents processed so that the U.S. government officially is recognized that she even exists, kind of get the... it's basically the equivalent of a birth certificate, but for a child born abroad.
Yeah.
And then also get the application for her passport. It was quite a long process, because where were we at? She's already a few months old, and it took us until now to get in. Even just the scheduling process was still 2 months out that we had the schedule to even get in on the nearest step.
They don't have a lot of open appointments. And also the paperwork to get in is... It could have gone faster if I'd obsessed a little less, but even if you're not an obsessive person, it still took a long time, because you had to show all these different proofs for all these different things, and you had to bring originals, and if you've ever moved to a different country, you're aware you don't have a ton of originals of older documents with you, so it was kind of a big thing.
Yeah, they wanted proof, hard copy proof of having lived in the U.S. for the last 5 years before coming here, of all the different places we've been. But we've actually been in
of that in the States.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, and we've been in several places. So we were talking, because we've been in Philadelphia and then gone down to Charlotte. So there's a whole bunch of these things.
Oh yeah.
And then it's I didn't keep bank statements not banks. It didn't keep bills from 5 years ago that had our address on it.
No.
Yeah. Well, you ended up figuring out just to get around it by doing online bank statements, because that way you can just print them here, take them.
Tax forms, online bank statements, stuff like that.
Yeah, because the original form of the document was digital, so printing it off was kind of this is the original document.
Anything I could find that could prove we lived in a place, and that's my tip if you're going to the embassy and you can't figure this out, use online bank statements, use your tax documents if you filed your taxes electronically, and or transcripts, any document that you received electronically as the original. Okay, then you can print that off and you can honestly say that is my original, because you've never received a hard copy original. So yeah.
So and then getting scheduled also is a pain. Just nothing on the website was particularly user friendly. Nothing was very intuitive.
On me. I had to I spent 2 hours trying to do something that should have taken 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then plus on top of this, with the sanctions all kicked in, they basically closed the embassy. It was there's a tiny skeleton crew of people here. And so even when we finally got through the process, which I swear it took a few weeks just to be able to submit the application to get to work, because like you mentioned, it kept crashing, had to start over, do it over again, all this obnoxiousness.
Yeah.
Finally get the application stuff to go through, and then it's oh yeah, there's a day in 2 months you can come by. That's even trying to call them, there's no way to reach them just about. So anyway, finally get that submitted. Okay, show up in 2 months. The the wife of a priest here came, and she's a good friend of my wife's, came and offered to stay with the kids so we could just take Elisa, because we still had to take her.
Yeah, you had to go both parents in person with the child.
Yes, but taking all four was
impossible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Impossible. So that wasn't an option.
Exactly. So that day, right, I was teaching an English lesson over there. I was somewhere near like Aeroport, the metro station over there. So I got done with that lesson and had to kind of head there to meet you. And then you were going to bring her by taxi straight from home. And then it was a couple of weeks ago now. So it was during the time when we were undergoing Noah's Flood 2.0 here. Yeah, we've... Like 2 days ago, we had a rainstorm that was so bad that I think on the news they were saying it was like we got, as they estimated, 33% of a normal month's worth of rain or a normal July or August's worth of rain in one day.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So anyway, constant rain.
The rain's been insane.
Yes, constant rain and storming for those few weeks there. So yeah, I'm getting there, dodging rain and all, and then.
And I decided to wear a long skirt that day.
Mm-hmm.
Not my best choice.
Well, and then her taxi got held up, so I get there, so I'm sitting here trying to figure out what to do with myself for an hour until you get there, and it's also pouring down rain, so I'm kind of hiding inside, go into and look around, like there's this really beautiful church that was like right across from the embassy and up a little ways from it, so kind of hiding out, praying that everything goes well, so it was an appropriate place to go, and it was a beautiful place, so I did get to look around there. And then I actually also, when the rain kind of died down for like a little bit of time there, walked around down not far from the embassy, you actually get a view of kind of Moscow City, that's the area with all the skyscrapers and all, so we'll probably attach in some of that little quick bit of footage I got there as well. So, waiting for that, taxi got real late, because just the rain and bad weather held it up, so we ended up being a tiny bit late. Go there. Yeah, it's a very, it's not a particularly inviting looking place on the outside. Everything's very stark. It's got this kind of weird emptiness, because it's a pretty big set of grounds there. Mm-hmm. These big buildings. I remember walking by before you got there, just kind of was raining. I could look up at this big, massive building, and I could literally see up on, the 4th floor, there's just, two people just standing, arms crossed, staring. And that was the weird thing. It was this big, humongous building, and it's so empty, and all the windows are just blank, empty. It was so empty that just two people standing, looking like they were bored and staring out the window, you could just spot them out of the entire front of this building as I walked by. So I literally just stop along the road and sit and stare back at them for a few seconds there. It was just so weird, because this big, huge place, completely empty.
Yeah, it's kind of post-apocalyptic feeling.
Yeah. And then, so you got there, I meet you, get out of the road, we go there, the security on the outside is Russian security.
Yeah. And
so they kind of stop us. Man, it threw us for a loop there, because I think it was just, we're right at the front of the embassy, so we're in, English mode, expecting to be speaking English now. And, they stop us speaking Russian, so we start, the first thing we say is English, and they immediately answer in Russian. It was just funny. It was I think they were just very convinced that we obviously had to be Russian, because for whatever reason we look, or at least I look very Russian to anyone I ever bump into. And so it was just, it was weird, because we both temporarily seemed to lose any ability to speak Russian, because we were just in the mode of expecting, we're right there at the door, expecting to, speak English. This guy pops out of this little, cubby hole thing, and is kind of trying to basically, not stop what's going on, but you can tell, to his mind, we must obviously be in the wrong place, because we're obviously Russians wandering into the wrong place. No.
No, we're supposed to be here.
Yeah, so they eventually figured out what we were once we regained our Russian ability to explain. No. So he sends us to this door, because most of the entrances are just kind of permanently blocked, it looked like to me.
Yeah.
And because there's no one there. And so we went in this door, there's kind of this outer initial building that's a security checkpoint building. There's these two security guys in there.
They were really nice.
They were very nice.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the people at the embassy building that we all met with were very professional and very nice.
I do want to put that in there. They were like, I was expecting a lot of hostility from the embassy people, and because the website and the rules on the website and all the different things sounded so like severe and strict and scary. So I was like, oh, this is going to be bad.
From the State Department side, they were not trying to be
terrifying.
helpful. Like the leftover stuff in the Biden administration, I don't know if it's going to change with Trump, but it was definitely not designed to be helpful or encouraging for anyone who's here.
No, so I was expecting a lot of hostility. I was not expecting anyone to be helpful, but that wasn't our experience.
Oh yeah, the people who were actually on site here in Moscow were very nice.
They were great.
It was very funny though, because I got the vibe that like they were just kind of stuck there, not really doing much because the whole place has been shut down and there's barely any Americans left, and the website and all kind of makes it impossible to schedule to do anything. So I'm guessing the Americans who are here don't come for almost anything. So I got the vibe like these guys were kind of sort of stuck. Almost felt like they were serving some sort of jail sentence or something. Just kind of like,
people,
I'm
hey,
here.
Hi, people. It was a little bit like that.
Well, you could tell they weren't used to having Americans come anymore, because we walk up and the guy's like, Dobre utro. I'm like, I was just like, Dobre. And he's looks at the passport and goes, wait, Americans? Oh, hey. It's like, it was kind of funny. It was, oh, hey. And, so we were, the whole taxi and the rainstorm situation, she was kind of late getting there, so he calls up and was like, oh, they're late, and it's like, oh, just send them on up, who cares, or something like that.
Well, there's no one else there.
Yeah, exactly. And so we go through the security place, we had to, leave our electronics there, because you can't take them up into the main embassy building.
One thing that was kind of disturbing when you read up on the embassy website is they basically say, you have to leave all your electronics, we don't provide any storage, you just gotta leave it there with somebody.
Or a normal person uses your phone to order your taxi to get there, all these kinds of things,
Then you use your phone to get there, but then it might get stolen while you're in there. And you might be there for several hours, because I think they kind of imply you might be there for 3 hours. And I'm sitting here going, how's this going to work? But we got there. They did have storage for our phones.
Yeah, they had, literally behind the security desk, they would just take the stuff from us, put it in a little slot there, give you a little card to give it back to them to get it returned to you, and that was fine.
So the bark was worse than the actual bite.
Yeah, so we go through the security, and then they're like, okay, just go up to this main building, the big building, behind this sort of smaller security building. Just go in the first door, go up to the second floor. Don't worry about it, just go through everything, go on up there. So we just come in there to push this door open. There's this big building. Yeah. It looks like TSA. It looks like airport security when you go in.
Yeah.
There's, metal detectors, the scanners to check your bags, all this stuff. And it's all just empty. Just completely empty.
Completely.
It's like one of those zombie apocalypse movies. You go in, it's just everything's gone. And we're just looking around like, there's nobody in here.
Like, where do we go?
So we just kind of walk through the security stuff, through the metal detectors, just kind of going through. It's like, okay, there's no one to check us here. All right. Kind of look around. It's like, let's go see if the elevator even works. Go there. Okay, the elevator works.
It was so empty, we weren't even sure if the elevator worked. That's how empty it felt. It felt like an abandoned building.
So you go, get on the elevator, go up the second floor. They've got rows and rows and rows of these desks and all where you could go up to meet with somebody, and it's just all empty. There's a main light and kind of the main room is on, but behind each of these little windows, the employees would be behind to take your documents. It's all just dark in there. Just looking around. It's almost kind of echoey. It's so big in there. It's sort of like if you're ever in some sort of big, I don't know, church or some big kind of community type building that's empty, that kind of weird echoiness. I was kind of looking around and going, this feels so much like those weird movies that used to come out in the 90s or in the 80s about maybe in the 70s, 80s, all those weird Left Behind type things where, the dispensational take on Christianity where the rapture comes and all these different people disappear and you got an empty bus because all these people were taken up to heaven all of a sudden. It kind of had that feel like those those dumb movies where just
it did.
Whoa, this place is... Anyway, this one guy is behind, kind of walks by behind the wall of the glass and all. And it's kind of just waving to us, kind of that way.
Over to this window.
Because there's literally one person who's told we're coming to actually come meet with us.
Mm-hmm.
And so he kind of sends us down a whole bunch of these windows until it gets to one where he had the light turned on behind it and apparently the computer booted up. Go talk to him. He was very nice, but it was kind of funny. we walk up, and it was almost kind of like this slight, I'm not sure, wouldn't be suspicion, but this kind of slight, okay, who are you, and all that, and we walk up and was like, hey, how's it going? And it was just kind of funny, you could just see Americans.
It's like relief on his face. It was just kind of
like, oh, okay. It's like, are both of you American citizens? Like, yeah, both of us. And it's like, and you're doing this for the getting the baby's documents? Like, yeah. He goes, both Americans. Oh, thank goodness. It's like so much more complicated when one's a citizen and one's not. So apparently that's the thing.
Yep.
But
yep. One thing I forgot to mention this morning was I had to print off a bunch of paperwork because I'm a bit overboard, and I printed off way more than I should have. So basically, I printed off like tons and tons of stuff, and I didn't need half of it. He did his due diligence, he looked at everything he needed to, but the website made it sound like I needed so much more than I actually did need, so that was kind of insane.
Yeah, because you had printed off like basically a book's worth of stuff, and a lot of it was more like, oh, you have the original of your birth certificates. Okay, yay, look at it, scan it, something like that. It's like, yeah, you didn't have to print as many of these things as you did. So, yeah, he did all the things he had to, but it was a lot less strict in actual fact than it looked like. It was a bit more humane, I guess you could say. Anyway, midway through, the guy from downstairs came and found us.
Yeah, he found us because I had left her bottle at security. He very kindly grabbed the bottle, found us, and brought it to us just in case the baby needed it during the appointment. Which was very
the security guy from the other building, so
yeah.
He had to track up from the other building upstairs and find us. But yeah, anyway, it's not hard to find you in there because when you're in there, it's echoey and there's only a few humans in there. Like the whole place was so empty. I know there were at least 2 other people because when we were standing there waiting for him to kind of do the documents, I could hear 2 people talking from a long ways away. And it was so empty, it was like you could just hear it echoing down the hallways that 2 people somewhere were having a conversation. So anyway,
right.
He lets us kind of just go sit down while he fills out the documents, and a little bit later he's like, cover the baby's ears, and then starts having alarms going off. He's like, and they make these announcements. They're like testing all the emergency code, the different emergency code 1, grab all important documents and go to designated safety area, whatever.
Right,
Going through all the
that
emergency codes and doing the different alarm tones for them. And so we're sitting here just kind of covering the baby's ears, listening to the different alarm tones go off.
And in this giant, empty, echoey building.
Yeah, where there's not really that many people to go to an emergency area anyway. And then they get done, they make some announcements like, the Marines are now going to be carrying out training. If you're not part of the Marines, if you're not part of the armed service, you don't have to, you can disregard or something like that. It was just so funny. Like, I got the heavy sense of, I've worked enough in some big companies or, also military college and all that stuff. It's like, I got the very strong sense of finding stuff to keep people busy because there's nothing to do. They're just the skeleton crew there. And so there's very much, I remember we were leaving downstairs when you could see one of the Marines down there. I don't know what it was, like some sort of equipment issuing place. One of those it looks like a desk, some sort of, it almost looked like you'd have on a military base, like an armory or something like the desk or something where they, would take your card and issue something, but I don't know what it was, but I just remember as we're walking by out there, I could kind of see like an open door downstairs, the guy just doing this inventory in this mostly empty, looked like he was just doing some sort of inventory to keep busy. I'm sorry, it was just, you could definitely tell, they shut the place down, a handful of people just got left to stay there, that was where they were, and it felt like they were serving out a sentence. It was kind of almost the vibe of like, this, gotta keep busy because there's nothing to do. Anyway though, our guy goes through, processes everything, calls us back. We then give him the paperwork to do the passport, processes all that, kind of tells us, okay, I'll be ready 4 to 6 weeks. We're open in the afternoons on Thursdays. It was just kind of like...
Very specific.
It's like, wow, talk about a limited schedule. And so, yep.
Pretty much. Yeah. So, and then we headed on home.
It went really quickly.
It was like 20 minutes or less, like 15 minutes.
Well, 20 minutes once we got up to the window. Yeah. There was a few minutes getting up there, but it was...
Under an hour. We were done in under an hour.
Yeah, it was so quick coming out of there. Fortunately, when we got back, the rain at least settled down a little bit, so we just walked back to the metro and came home. Got to pass the Moscow Zoo on the way. That's the metro station right across from the zoo. So that was in one of our videos way back, but yeah.
Yeah, so that's where we were.
So anyway, gotta redo that video sometime now that it's nice and green out.
You need to see the zoo.
Yes. See if you like animals or not. You look kind of morose.
She's usually
She's normally very smiley, but she's kind of serious
this morning.
It's too early for her.
She likes to sleep in. She woke up a little early this morning.
Yes. So anyway, thank you for watching our video. That was our update of the weirdly surreal, almost humorous visit to the Embassy. Just that weird post-apocalyptic feel. And just also how friendly everyone was the minute they were like, an American? It just very much was this vibe of, Americans? Oh, yay, I can speak to somebody with an American accent. and even our guy was making conversation. You could kind of tell there was a little bit of a just, let me make conversation with somebody from the U.S. But he was very nice, but still.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so hope you enjoyed our little adventure with that.
Yeah.
We were very stressed. It would be very uptight, take a long time, but they got us through very quickly. The people there were super nice, professional, but also very friendly and helpful.
Yeah.
All the things, like, comment, subscribe, share the videos. The algorithm kind of, sometimes it hates us, sometimes it likes us, so share them, take it out of its hands a little bit if you could. Keep an eye out. We're going to try and get back to a more consistent pumping out of the normal videos, not just shorts, but partly because we have like a massive backlog of shorts. I got so many of them filmed, and she's been trucking away on editing them while I'm out and about at work. So now we can get back to the normal videos.
Yeah.
Good Lord willing, please.
So check out our links down below, and we'll see you guys later.
All right, bye.
Bye.